Well, happy Friday, July the 11th. It's a beautiful day outside. I actually was set up and waiting to do my broadcast when the laptop that I had didn't respond, and lo and behold, it dropped the internet connection. So instead of that being a bad thing, I'm grateful that it went offline, because it's still offline, and that would have been stressful for me to try to do a broadcast and get back on and work through the technical difficulties. So that's a good thing that it did what it did. Good morning, Miss Jan. Thanks for tuning in on this Friday. My greeting verse for today is the Lord watches over all who love him. Psalms 145 verse 20. It's a beautiful blue sky today, and the white puffy clouds, as opposed to the way it was overcast all day yesterday. Yes, happy Friday. And also recognizing this is September 11th, I'm wearing my patriotic United States dress as the country unites on one accord in somber remembrance of 9/11. And still praying for all who had friends and loved ones affected and impacted by that tragic event in our country's history. So today I've got an opening poem, and I want to reflect on, as I share these words of encouragement every day, that it encourages me. I'm ministering to myself and reminding myself of God's promises while I attempt to encourage you wherever you are in your daily walk. For us all to remember that the Lord loves us and he watches over us. And that's every day, all day, every minute, every second. The Lord watches over us and loves us. And I think it's not ironic, but I think it's a significant thing to point out. God doesn't remove us from the difficult trials, but he goes with us through the trials. And for us also to understand and learn that each trial we go through, each test, each opportunity is his means of training us, of preparing us, of testing us, of grooming us to be the person he has designed for us to be. And so the words are for our good and his glory. And it helps us if we can keep that in mind and don't feel like we're abandoned or that God doesn't love us, but he is having his purposes carried out. Yesterday afternoon, driving back to the house, my dad and we were talking about Jacob and his trials, and Joseph, and just how his brothers envied him, and so we're speculating that the reason why they threw him in the well was because he was probably conceited, as well as he was a tattletale and used to tell his dad, on them all the time. But the straw that I think broke the camel's back was when he said, when he told his brothers about his dream, and how he dreamed that they would be bowing down to him. And they were like, we're not having it. So we all have tough times and troubles in our lives. And I think it can be more bearable, or we can endure it more if we remember that God hasn't abandoned us. God has not left us. God has his own purposes in everything that we experience. And we get to practice loving him and trusting him and not ourselves. So the title of my poem today is Practice Makes Perfect. Okay. Let me get it set up here. Okay. Practice makes perfect. When I feel alone and lonely and my empty world seems void, I relax for just a moment and I trust joy will unfold. For in my quiet time, I listen to the gentle voice within, and he hears my prayers clearly, for he lets the sunshine in. Oh, how marvelous this practice, which can make our dreams come true. But the beauty of the challenge, my dear friend, is up to you. So remember, perseverance is a gift, but yours by choice. And if you continue in this practice, rest assured you will rejoice. For no words can ever tell you of the treasure deep within, but with the art of silent practice, he will let the sun shine in. By Chris Zambernard. Good morning, Miss Pamela. Thank you for tuning in. So that's our poem of encouragement. Practice makes perfect, and even without, just endure, but also practice being patient and trusting the Lord. And we will rejoice. Excuse me. So I have 2 scripture references today. The first one is Philippians chapter 4, verse 4. And I smile because, of course, that's my favorite verse and my favorite life theme. And the verse says, rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. The second reference is Psalms 102, verse 27. Oh, I thought I had it. Let's see. Okay. Verse 27 reads, but you remain the same. Woo, go away, bee. Bumblebee. Excuse me. But you remain the same, and your years will never end. All right, let's do our reading. Marsha, insert name here. Rejoice in me always. No matter what is going on, you can rejoice in your love relationship with me. This is the secret of being content in all circumstances. So many people dream of the day when they will finally be happy, when they are out of debt, when their children are out of trouble, when they have more leisure time, and so on and so on. When the election is over, when the pandemic is over. While they daydream, their moments are trickling into the ground like precious bombs spilling wastefully from overturned bottles. Fantasizing about future happiness will never bring fulfillment because fantasy is unreality. Even though I am invisible, I am far more real than the world you see around you. My reality is eternal and unchanging. Bring your moments to me, and I will fill them with vibrant joy. Now is the time to rejoice in my presence. That's another mic drop moment. And I actually closed the book. Hold on, let me open the book back up so I can remember what I want to reference. So, rejoice in me always. Let's take that to heart. No matter whatever is going on, as I just stated, we can rejoice in our love relationship with God. And that's the secret of being content in every circumstance. The funny thing about today's reading is I did not read it in advance. So everything that I've said up until this moment was God's leading to these words of encouragement and his sovereignty about how whatever the circumstance and the situation is right now, let's not lose our moments. Let's not, what was it? Precious bombs spilling on the ground. Wow. Live in the moment. Let's be present in the moment. Even if we're listening to a sermon, it's a challenge, but we want to focus on the speaker and meditate on the words and not think about groceries and what we want to pick up after church, not think about the laundry or what we want to do next week and, I got to make this deposit. Let's live in the moment. Take that effort to be present in the moment. I lament that this is September. Fall is coming soon. The leaves are already changing. The weather, I can feel the difference, and it's cooler in the morning. I lamented yesterday July is in the past. And I remember when we were getting ready for July, we were getting ready for the 4th of July, we were getting ready for Labor Day and having the Labor Day picnics and barbecues. And this is September the 11th, a somber day in our country. But let us enjoy each moment where we are right now, trusting and knowing that God has us in that moment. And that's definitely hard for us to have the patience to reason with and apply. But then again, let's think about Joseph. Joseph kept getting into trouble. Joseph was thrown into jail, and he would stay in jail for a long period of time through things that he didn't do and that weren't his fault. So if he can endure that, certainly we can endure whatever we're going through. But remember, as the sun rises, goes across the sky, and sets, that's one whole day. That's 24 hours when these things change over. And it went from spring to summer, and we're about to go into fall. But each day we have that 24-hour slot. What are we going to do with that day? And are we going to take the opportunity to think about God, to praise him for his blessings, to trust him that he's in control, and appreciate every day that we have? Do we have food to eat? Do we have the mobility to get around and to go as we please? I would encourage us to apply it to ourselves and to remember, actually, each day is a gift. Each day is a blessing. If we woke up this morning and we're on this side of the dirt, that's a blessing. And everything else is icing or a cherry on top of the cake. Life is great. So I encourage us to just trust in the Lord and rejoice in him always. I think this is a simple, easy message today. So no matter what we think we're facing, nothing is too hard for God. And then 2, God's got us because he has us in this and through this for his purposes for our lives and for his glory. And if we can enjoy life a little bit more, if we just recognize it and understand that we've got a learning lesson even in everything we're experiencing. And that lesson could be that, we misstepped, we made a mistake, but God still loves us and we can rejoice in him and trust him. So that's my encouraging words for us today, to remember to live in the moment and remember to rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. Meeting this day with excitement that this is the first day of the rest of our lives. And this moment, let's enjoy and appreciate it. If you have any questions or any thoughts about anything that I've shared today, please let me know. If this was encouraging to you, please let me know, because that's an encouragement to me. And sidebar, my situation has not changed, but I am plunging into the Word and repeating God's promises, and that actually can remind me that God's got this. So I ask for your prayers for discernment and decisions for my family, for all of us, because this impacts us all. And for us to remember ourselves to apply God's promises and remember that God is with us and guiding us. I did see my mom yesterday. We saw her and then she called us back. So she sounds great. And she told my dad, you take care of yourself. Don't worry about me. I'm okay. So we are trusting in God ourselves. Special prayers go out to those who are sick, who have family members that are sick, or who've recently lost their loved ones. And again, as always, if you have any special prayer requests, please feel free to call me and I'm happy to pray with you. We all need each other. We all minister to each other. And I do thank you for your calls, notes, and prayers, and for the kind thoughts and cards and wishes that are being sent to my mom. Appreciate that. She does too. I will bring another message tomorrow morning at 11:30 a.m., Lord willing, after tennis. And I certainly hope that you can enjoy this Friday. Enjoy it and be safe. Oh, and by the way, remember to be kind to others. And if you can do an act of kindness, that will be greatly appreciated for that person in need as well. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.